Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I wanted to do a podcast all about the energy shifting that is happening right now. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have been exhausted lately. And it wasn't making any sense to me why I was so tired. I knew, my kids had their graduation, and while that was emotionally draining, I thought I should have recovered by the day or two after because we weren't able to have big parties or anything yet because we're still on quarantine. But I still wasn't feeling very energetic. I was feeling very drained and tired, like I just could not get enough sleep. And I also was having a difficult time getting to sleep and getting good sleep. I would wake up, every couple of hours. So I wasn't getting the good REM sleep. And I thought, I talked to my counselor about it, and I thought, it's just all of this stuff going on with the kids and dealing with their dad and all of that. That's probably what it is. But I know myself, and I know that I am pretty quick to be able to recover after tragedy because I've always had to be. So I thought, I don't think that's it. So I decided to do a little research to see what is going on. And I asked my guides, I said, what is going on? And why am I so tired? Why is my energy depleted? Is it because of everything that's going on? And what I got is, no, it's not. That might have been a little portion of it, but that is not why my energy is feeling drained and depleted. It's because we're going through a huge planetary shift right now. And although the shift has been happening for the last few years, it's getting more and more intense. And right now, we are getting ready to go into another level of that shifting. So I thought that I would talk about that today because if you're feeling like me, if you're exhausted, you know that it's really difficult to go about your daily life feeling this way. So I thought that what I would do is give you a really quick explanation of what's going on, and it's going to be just an overview because there's so much information out there. You will be overloaded, but I'm going to give you like the Cliff Notes version of what's going on, and then I'm also going to give you some tips for how to deal with this changing energy because if you're like me, I have a lot to do. I can't sit around and take naps all day. I need to get some of my energy back. And I was laughing and joking with my coworkers talking about I need more coffee. I need a coffee IV. But actually, there are better things you can do than drinking coffee to help you get your energy back. Now, one of the things I did for you all yesterday is I created an energy clearing meditation. Because I thought to myself, I really need to clear my energy. So I did that, and then I created a meditation for you all. It's free, and it's on YouTube. And I will mention it again, and the link to my YouTube channel is in the description to this podcast. So if you want to go check that out after you listen to this podcast, you can. Or go and put it in your watch list on YouTube, and you can watch it before you go to bed tonight. So what is this energetic shift, that's going on right now? Well, what's happening, as I've said before, is that we are shifting from the 3D to the 5D. And as we are going through the shift, we are seeing more people become awakened. There are still, though, more people who are choosing not to become awakened. And so what is happening is that as we're doing the shifting, people here who are light workers, who are holding energy for people, doing healing work and doing transformational work, we are trying to hand the baton over to others to help us in doing this light work and in doing this healing work. So some people are slowly awakening, and they're realizing, oh, hey, you know what? We've kind of killed our planet. We're doing all of these things. There's so much negativity. We need to stop that. And so as we're going through these final shifts, we're still seeing a lot of negativity and a lot of traumatic things happening, like this pandemic and other things in the news that we've seen, a lot of corruption and things like that. And that's because this is the last wave of this energy going through. So there's still a gap, though, between those who are awake and those who are still asleep. And we're in new levels of this integration where we can see the density of the 3D now. One of the things that I think best describes the 3D is I was talking to a friend of mine and he said, you know what? I've never liked being here on Earth because it feels so heavy. And one of the things people say when they have a near-death experience and they go to the other side for a little bit but then get sent back is they say that when they go to the other side, they feel so free and everything feels very light. And then they come here and it feels so heavy again. And that can make you feel very much depressed, that heavy feeling. And so I think that a lot of people are experiencing the shifting from the 3D, which is very much dense and heavy, to the 5D, which is much, much lighter and it's much faster energy. And so what's happening is it's making a lot of people feel, for me, I'm feeling like the energy drain. And I think that that's happening for a lot of people. But as we're shifting into the 5D, time is actually moving faster. And it's a really great time for manifesting. Because this energy is moving so quickly, what we've talked about all along is that when you want to manifest things, you have to be vibrating on a much higher level. And so as you're moving from 3D to 5D, as our energy is shifting, it's shifting higher. And so that means that you're able to manifest things at a much faster rate. So May kicked off a new 19-year cycle as the nodes from Cancer, they moved from Cancer to Gemini. They did that in October of 2001 and March of 1983. And you might notice there were some similarities of things that were happening at that time. So when we're moving in May into a powerful theme of transformation versus change, self-awareness versus fear, and empowerment versus domination. You can notice a lot of those themes going on right now. Like there are some people who are just terrified of the pandemic and everything that's going on. And there are some people who are really resisting this, need to stay home and to wear a mask, and all of that stuff is happening. So you see all of those themes going on right now. As we move into this new collective paradigm of awakening, we are experiencing an event that everyone throughout the world is experiencing. And so that makes us feel more connected and as though we are one. It makes us aware of our shared humanity. And as a collective, we are reaching for a greater level of divinity. And that's what ascension is all about. So people are ascending, but this isn't the end of the journey by any means. We're still seeing a lot of this negativity around. There's a battle for power grabs by the government, people who are capitalizing on the unfortunate events that are going on, and people who are debating, protesting about their civil liberties being taken away, all of these things. So even though all of this is happening, it's kind of like the final shift, I guess, as you would say. We've realized, and many more people are realizing and waking up, as we call it, that this energy is shifting. We're receiving a lot of energy downloads at this time, and you may be feeling that too. And as you are getting these new downloads, you can feel that energetically. You may feel like, the only way I can describe it for me lately is just I feel very drained. Like I don't even have the energy to sit there and hold a conversation with you, that kind of drained. So you may be feeling like you need to take a nap, You may be feeling exhaustion. You may be feeling a lot of energy work going on. So you may notice that you can't sleep at night, or maybe you're falling asleep later and later. You're not able to go to sleep until a certain time. And that's because of these energetic downloads. So first, we have to see the darkness in order to find the light. So March and April, that was a dark time for a lot of people because we were seeing this pandemic. We're seeing all of the corruption going on. And so that's part of it. That is part of what helps us to awaken, to say, we need to do something about this. And a lot of people now are really seeking the truth. But that oftentimes leads to a conflict within us because what we now know to be true isn't what we've known to be true our whole lives. So many of us are having a lot of internal conflict because what we once believed, we may not necessarily believe now. And I kind of will compare that to, for me, as I was talking to Sensei Alex on the last podcast, he was talking about how he was raised Pentecostal. And I laughed because I didn't realize that at first. And I said, oh, so was I. So we both felt this opposition to what we were what we were taught to believe. He felt that this was not really his truth. And I felt the same way. I did not feel like the way that I was raised and the religion that I was raised in was my truth. It always felt wrong to me, even as a little girl sitting in church. Let me give you an example. They would talk about missionaries and how missionaries, we needed to donate money so that they could go to other countries and they could teach people about God. And I remember being little, maybe 5 years old, and thinking to myself, so if other people are born in a country where they don't believe in God, they just automatically go to hell? Why? That's not fair. So just because of where they were born and because they didn't have the opportunity to hear about the God we know about, and maybe they do believe in gods, more than one, which of course in my religion was also wrong. Or maybe they just call it something else, but the belief either isn't there or it's different, but because of where they were born, they're automatically condemned to die. Does that sound fair? And that never made sense to me. And it was just little things like that that just did not make sense to me. And the more I learned about different things, the more I had that conflict within me where I would say, okay, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah, but why would somebody do that? And it just really never made sense. Just like this whole vengeful God. It didn't make sense to me. I'm a parent. And trust me, there are times when my children have irritated me and made me want to lose my temper. But there is absolutely nothing ever at any time my child could do to me that would make me not acknowledge my child. So that was another thing I didn't understand. I'm like, what? Okay, I don't understand that. So you make a mistake and you're out? 3 strikes, you're out? What is this? So none of that ever made sense to me too. And I think that that is a big part of what this ascension process is about. It's learning our truth. And sometimes learning our truth comes under a conflict with what we were taught, or raised to believe. For a lot of people, it's those limiting beliefs, right? It's believing that we're not good enough, or that we have to work really, really hard in order to be successful and make money, or that we'll never find love because love is hard and, it's not easy, and all of these things that are just lies, basically. Just lies that we've told ourselves, but it's easier for some of us to believe those lies than it is to believe that we're worthy and deserving of everything we want. So we have to start seeing our truth and letting go of those limiting beliefs that really, really do not do anything positive for us. So we're seeing with these truths that we're putting an end to karmic cycles, and we're putting an end to the energies of the past as we shift into our 5D integration and ascension work. So we have to close the door on what is draining us energetically and what is keeping us in limiting energy cycles. So what are the things in your life that are causing you pain, grief, shame, and disempowerment? Because all of those things need to be released as we move into this new energy cycle. The new collective energy is going to be bigger, higher, stronger, and moving at a much faster vibration. And so that means that the 3D is going to be wiped out of the collective energy field. It's being replaced with this higher vibe and this lighter energy. So the 3D, which feels very dense and heavy, is going to be replaced with a much lighter and freer energy. But the process of this is what is draining us. So that's what's going on right now if you've been feeling very tired and everything. But what's being asked of us is to let go of fear and let go of all of those things that don't serve us as we get ready to shift and move into a new cycle. And I will give you this comparison. It's like if you ended a relationship that was toxic, and instead of healing and trying to go back and figure out why you keep attracting the same type of people, instead of doing that work, you just jump right into the next relationship. Well, what happens is you're going to repeat the same patterns of behavior. You're going to project your wounding onto your partner, and it's going to be a disaster. You're going to have the same thing that you had before, just with a different person, because you didn't heal anything. So in the same way, we're getting ready to move into this new energy. And if you don't heal the negative, get rid of all of the old crap, you're going to bring it with you into this new energetic cycle. And it's going to be more intense. So what's going to happen is if you're still stuck in that negative thinking and the fear-based thinking, you're going to attract negative and fear-based things much faster. And if you're shifting and you're healing that stuff and you're thinking positively, you're going to attract the positive stuff much faster. So we're going to be manifesting at a much, much faster rate, and it's going to be much more powerful. So that means you've got to get rid of the negative, or if you bring it with you into this new cycle, you're just going to be manifesting more and more negativity for yourself at a much faster rate. And I don't know about you, but that does not sound like a fun thing to me. So it's really important that we're taking the time while we have it to really tie up those karmic loose ends. So that means forgiving people we need to forgive, healing our inner wounding, and also letting go of those limiting beliefs that don't serve us. And one of the ways you can do that is through inner work, by doing the tappings, by doing meditations, by doing the forgiveness and journaling, and all of those things help you. And if that's something you still need to work on, I would highly recommend taking my Love Your Life course, because it's going to help you figure out how to get through all of that. It is all kinds of lessons on how to lose limiting beliefs, how to use daily affirmations, doing tappings, all of those things to help you really clear out a lot of that old karma, because we have to get rid of that in order to really move into that next cycle, ready to manifest our dream lives, all the things we want to see. And it may have felt to you like nothing's been happening for you lately. Like if you're a manifester and you're like, you know what, I've been able to manifest all this stuff, and just lately it seems like it's stopped. Well, that's why too. It's because we're wrapping up these old cycles and getting ready to move into the new. It's going to pick back up again. So we need to make sure that we're not doubting ourselves. We're not allowing fear to creep in, that we're tying up all of our loose ends. So that's what's happening, and why you may be feeling very much heavy. And we just had a new moon on the 22nd, and this new moon is helping us to remove some of this heavy energy. So it's time to really look at letting go of what isn't serving you anymore. So what are some ways that you can clear this energy if you've been feeling this heavy, tired, whatever? I call it a blah. I just feel very blah. If you're feeling that energy, how can you shift that? So I'm going to tell you that right now. One of the things that you can do is to physically clear your space by burning sage or Palo Santo, or if you have a clearing spray. Now, I've never personally used the clearing sprays, but I know people who do and they love them. You can find people who make them on Etsy, or I've even seen them on Amazon, although read the reviews always, anytime you buy things. But the shamanic, I believe it's the shamanic market, they also sell them. So you can burn sage or Palo Santo, and the smoke that comes up, you're going to run that around your entire body, asking the angels to clear you and clear your energy. Same thing if you use the spray, just spray around you, asking the angels to clear you, clear your space. Meditation is super important. And as I said, I created an energy clearing meditation for you. It's free and it's on my YouTube channel. There's a link to my YouTube channel in the description of this podcast. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon, you'll be notified every time that I upload something. And I don't upload very often, so you're not going to get notifications like every 5 seconds or anything. But anytime I make a new meditation there, you will get a notification. You can go and listen to it. So check that out. Also, tappings are great. Sometimes I just will, for no apparent reason, get this feeling of unworthiness. It just comes up for me because I guess that was a deeply rooted thing for me, not just in this life, but past lives. So I find that when that happens, I find the tapping for unworthiness. I go and do that, and then that seems to really help with that feeling and letting it go. And you may find that you have to do the tapping more than once. Another thing that I think is really good, is really cool. There is someone on YouTube, and I'm going to see if I can pull up her name right now. She does a lot of light code activations. So if you're a star seed, she does these activations to help you in healing these different chakras or in awakening the different chakras. She actually has a lot of these activations for many different things. I'm going to find her name for you. Her name is Marielle Cunza. It's Lacunza, Marielle Cunza. She's on YouTube. And she does different light languages. It's really interesting. And I have done the heart chakra one to activate your heart chakra. It's really powerful. It's very interesting. I would say check that out. It's something that I have done. And when I did the heart chakra activation, all of this emotion just started coming up. Like I just wanted to start weeping. And I knew it was all of this pain that has been stuck there. And if you're like me, not like I try to stuff my pain down, although I guess maybe I do and not really realizing it. For me, I think my whole life I've just known I have to be strong for my kids, for different people. So although I do try to deal with emotions, I know that sometimes those get stuck deep down. So when I did that activation, all of the stuff came flooding up, and I think it was so great, and I felt so much lighter after I did it. So I would recommend checking her out, and I will put a link to her YouTube channel in my description of this podcast as well. Another thing that you can do to clear yourself is to repeat positive affirmations, especially if you're feeling a certain way. Like today, I'm going to be really honest, I was in such a crabby mood like most of the day. I mean, it's a little bit overcast and rainy here today, but I don't really think that's what was causing it. I just felt really off and crabby, and so I had to actually just get myself out of that mood. I had to decide that I wasn't going to be in this mood for the whole day. So one of the ways you can do that is by using positive affirmations. You can say things like, I deserve to be treated well. This bad thing may have happened to me, but it doesn't dictate my whole day. I'm a happy person. I'm a kind person. I'm worthy of love. Whatever affirmations you need to help you get through the day. And I always say you might need one affirmation one day and something totally different the next. You know what you need, so go search for the affirmations you need accordingly. Another thing that you need to do is to make sure that you're keeping your vibration high, because when our vibration goes low, that also makes us feel like we're drained. So you can keep your vibration high by exercising. It's really important for us to move our bodies. And you don't have to be doing this really strenuous exercise. Just go for a walk, go outside, get in nature. Being in the sun helps because the sun actually has vitamins that we need. Just make sure you're wearing sunscreen, but you need to get out in nature, put your feet on the grass and ground yourself. Those things are very helpful. Make sure that you're eating healthy, getting enough rest. One of the things that I did last night for the first time in a while is I was having such a hard time sleeping. I used essential oils. I have doTERRA, I sell doTERRA, and I have Serenity, which is one of their blends. And I put a little bit of the Serenity in my diffuser before I went to bed. And I fell right asleep. And I slept pretty well last night. Last night was the first time that I actually did sleep well, and I didn't remember waking up every 2 hours. I was still tired today, so that's another reason why I knew, okay, this isn't because of the sleep or whatever, this is something going on, which is why I was looking up, okay, what is happening that is making me so exhausted? And I knew it had to be an energetic thing. So try some essential oils. Serenity is a good one, and they even make Serenity caplets that you can take that are sleeping aids, that you can take them before you go to sleep. So I would highly recommend trying that. Take a hot bath with some essential oils and Epsom salt. Lavender essential oil is good for relaxing. That will help you to feel better, relax, de-stress, and it will renew you. You need to be doing all of those things to take care of yourself, and make sure you're drinking plenty of water too. That actually, being dehydrated can make you feel very much exhausted. So also, it's just some basic things that you can do to boost your energy quickly. They say that eating nuts, getting that protein, is a good way to boost your energy because they're high in magnesium and folic acid, and those are nutrients that are essential for energy and cell production. So eat a handful of almonds or peanuts. Grab a cinnamon stick. It might seem really weird, but some people say that just a whiff of cinnamon can reduce fatigue. So if you have cinnamon essential oil, you may want to use that instead of the lavender or whatever. You may want to just use a little dab of cinnamon essential oil. Make sure that you are eating, okay? A lot of people right now, I think, well, you have both sides of the coins. There's some people who are saying, like, I'm eating way more than usual because we're in quarantine and I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. And some people are saying, I don't have an appetite because I'm feeling depressed, or this is going on or that's going on. So just make sure that you're eating all the time. Like, don't skip meals. Make sure it's consistent, because actually we're supposed to be eating smaller meals throughout the day instead of these large meals. So make sure. I'm very much guilty of not eating breakfast. And I know I'm supposed to eat breakfast. I know it's the most important meal of the day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm not hungry, and I just don't even really think to grab it because I just am not, my body isn't hungry then. But I still have to force myself to drink a protein shake or to eat a banana or to eat some almonds or something just to keep myself going. Because otherwise what happens is you don't eat breakfast and then your body becomes overly hungry, and then we tend to overeat other times of the day. So just keep your meals consistent. continue to do the meditations and just know that you need to be patient with yourself. This is a process. It's not easy, but you will get through it and things will get better. I promise they're going to get better. So be patient with yourself and be patient with what's going on around us. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to pull a few cards for you today. I actually created my own deck. It's not one that I'm selling or anything. It's just one that I created to use with my clients. And I pulled 3 cards from it. So the first card I pulled is Progress is Being Made Despite What You Are Seeing in the 3D. I think this is such an important card because we aren't probably seeing a lot of progress right now in the 3D, but a lot is going on behind the scenes. So keep your thoughts positive. And your second card, this kind of goes along with it, is focus on what you want, envision success. So don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you want to see, because you're manifesting quickly. And so if you're focusing on what you don't want to see, that's what you're going to manifest. But if you're focusing on what you do want, then that's what you're going to manifest. And your last card is Remain Optimistic. Your true heart's desire is on the horizon. So for me, this is just a positive confirmation for anyone who needed it, that good things are coming. So stay positive, stay focused on your goals, what you want, and be very patient with yourself. And remember that you can always call on your spiritual team when you need them, and you can ask for signs and guidance. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here with me again today. As always, if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please share it with others. Please leave me a review from wherever you're listening. Throw me some stars on iTunes. That helps others to find me, and it helps me to complete my mission here, which is to help people heal. Also, if you would like to work with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com. There you will find a list of all of the services I offer on my offerings page. You can purchase them directly from that page. And when you're ready to book, just contact me and we will schedule your session. All sessions are done online through Zoom. Also, you can purchase my audiobook, Beautifully Broken, the Spiritual Woman's Guide to Thriving, Not Simply Surviving a Divorce or Breakup. You can also buy the ebook from my website as well, so check that out. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I go live Mondays at 6:30 Central on Facebook, where I do a free card reading, and I also post videos to Instagram and IGTV, and I have several meditations on YouTube, so check all of that out, and please subscribe or follow me when you go there. I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. I am so thankful for each and every one of you, and I am sending you all so much love and light. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys.